What is up, homies? Christian back again with the Twin Suns action figure close-up, and today I have for us the Hasbro 6-inch Black Series Rey Dark Side version. And I think this is the first Rise of Skywalker figure that we've got in this new box design, because when they all launched, we had the old red and black boxes still. And I really like this blue that they gave the Rise of Skywalker. Just a fan of the shade of it. So as you can see here, we have the figure. On the side, we have some really nice artwork. Really like this artwork. Notice she's wearing a ring in this art. Almost kind of seems like Snoke, but it doesn't have that black gem in it like Snoke's ring had. So that's just an interesting little observation. And we have here on the back, while searching for the Sith Wayfinder, Rey envisions herself turned to the dark side. Wielding a double-bladed lightsaber, her rage and immense power is frightening. Number 1. So yep, this is definitely the first Rise of Skywalker we've had. We've had all the warnings on every continent. We have the side window. And here we are again. But we're not here for this. Let's crack her out of her plastic prison and see what we got. Here she is, straight out of the box. And the first thing I noticed bringing her out of the box is she has some hidden soft goods. The way she was packaged, I don't know why, but it was packed just like that, it seemed like. So I didn't really realize that she had soft goods. Which leads me to my next first thought, my second thought, I guess. Why didn't they do all of her in soft goods? I can see not doing the hood, because to get the hood laid this perfectly like this, you have to use a hard plastic. But for all this, why couldn't this have been soft goods? It would have been really nice to have some something more free-flowing, and I'll get to that a little bit as to some of my issues with this figure. Other things right off the bat, the head looks great. Really good face sculpt, really good paint job, just looks really good. I'm a fan of this. Hasbro's been doing a good job getting rid of that excessive shine and glossy sheen that they've been having lately. Just been doing a good job getting rid of that. I like it. Let me see if I can get her up closer and light to work. I like the way the hood just shadows her forehead and stuff. Looks really good. If you can get her angled right, you can shadow over her eyes and stuff. The hood lays really nicely. It's a very basic costume design, as you can see. It's almost like that same ribbing that Kylo Ren has, but it's translated to all over on the back of the robe. It's a very nice texture. It just feels very nice to touch. I like the way it feels. And it's on every part of the figure. It just looks really good. She's got that belt that goes across that ring that I talked about. Let me see if I can get this to focus, and there you go. So you can actually see here it's got a red gem on it, which the pictures are in black and white, so they couldn't really get across that it was red. But really nice of Hasbro. I mean, there's my finger right next to it. You can see a tiny dot of red they put onto it with my finger to scale. Looks very good. I'm a fan of it. Nice see little details like that. But I mean, there's really honestly not too much to say about this costume design. I like the way it looks, don't get me wrong. It's just very basic. It's got strength in its simplicity. This cape flows very nicely. I just really wish I could have done a cape right there, because she suffers from traffic cone syndrome. You're not going to really have much leg articulation or anything. She's just always going to be standing straight up, which on the shelf is fine, but for some photography, it's going to pose some issues. But yeah, so I guess let's just get into the articulation with her. So, for her head, the cloak doesn't move, the hood does not come down at all. It does not come with any swappable hood parts, so the hood will just always be up. So the head just gets a little bit of side to side. You can kind of just use your thumb to push it down. Gets down a little bit, looks up a little bit. But really overall, just not much in terms of head articulation. And that's just due to no fault other than just this hood, which is more of a costume design thing than a figure thing. They could have done a soft goods hood, but I think if there's one part of this figure that should have been plastic and stays plastic, it should be the hood. Because as you can just see, the way they have it lays looks very nicely. They have the curves down here and the way it indents here. Just sits very nicely on her head. So for her shoulders, it does look like she might have butterfly joints there. But if she does, mine are completely locked up on both of them. So I'm going to assume she doesn't. If you have this figure, let me know in the comments down below if yours moves right there on that butterfly joint. Would move back and forth if it does. Shoulder gets up to 90. We go all the way around for her elbow. Ooh, I like that. Past 90 elbow articulation. That's really nice to see. For her wrist, I don't know why Hasbro did this to us. Side to side. Really? 2021. We're getting lightsaber hands that are going side to side. The other wrist is side to side. So that's both of them. We expect it on this wrist, but on this wrist, I would have liked to have seen some up and down lightsaber waving. Obviously, this arm is going to be all the same. Just a little bit stiffer. That's just plastic needs to be worn in. Let's get her arms up for some waist articulation. So she does do the lean side to side, some nice articulation. Does she have any crunch? A little bit amount of crunch. I like to see that. Nice that she has some crunch there. Lean back. She's got some nice lean back too. So that's looking good. I like that. And she swivels left and she swivels right. She seems to be clicking into a certain position, but you don't have to like click it there like the olden days. It just seems to lock in there. But you can have it like halfway, like right there. And then I can actually click it in a spot. Now here's where the traffic cone syndrome kicks in. Her entire lower half. They did put some slits here, but it's not going to work out very well. You can see they did bother to texture her legs. So there is, it looks nice there. If you wanted to cut off this skirt and have like a Sith Rey that's actually mobile and able to do something, or if you wanted to cut off these and have Dark Side Rey and put your own soft goods cloak on the bottom, you can do that as well. These almost look like they could have been Marvel Legends legs, but I've never seen this texturing on a Marvel Legend, so I think this is all new sculpt. The hips come out to about there. It's about to 45. She does have a thigh swivel. And come forward. They don't really go back at all. Looks like her booty gets in the way there. As you can see, that plastic just wants to stop it. Single jointed knee, which is nice. Looks better in every situation. Gets to a little past 90, barely, like 92 degrees if you want to be a geometrist on this. She does have knee swivel as well as thigh swivel, so that's interesting. For her ankles, we got the standard Hasbro swivel rocking ankles. But the problem is that you're not really going to be able to get her in any pose using those legs and having it look good. You see? Skirt like there's that weird indentation right there, and then if you fix it, it just doesn't lay too well. Just something about it doesn't look right. Which, I mean, in the movie, she doesn't do anything really but stand there and snarl. But really cool to get that fanged face instead with all the little sharp teeth and that nasty snarl that she has and stuff. But I get why they went with this. This is a lot more, you can use this in a lot more photography and stuff. So I get why they did that. But as you can see, it just doesn't look good when you're actually using the legs. You'll never actually have her like running because it just looks a little ridiculous. But again, if you wanted, you can cut that off. You can make your own soft goods to go along with this. I don't know why Hasbro didn't do that. And while it's standing straight, I mean, I'll admit, it looks really good standing straight up. The sculpt work on there, that ribbing detail they did, it looks good, feels good. If you're a collector who just likes to have her on the shelf like that, she's gonna look great standing on the shelf like that. If your collector likes to do photography, you're gonna be a little bit limited, but it's a trade-off, you know. I get some people don't like the soft goods. They say it doesn't look as good as the hard plastic because it doesn't have that sculpture to it. But as someone who likes to pose, I would have liked to have seen some soft goods. And she comes with one accessory, and there's actually a variant on this accessory. So she comes with this double-bladed lightsaber. As you can see, I have silver handles. And if you have this figure, let me know down below if you have silver, because there is a variant out there that has gold handles where the silver is. So it almost gives that Palpatine vibe to it, how his hilt has the gold to it. Kind of wish mine had the gold, but it's really not a big deal at all. See, they did a really good job sculpting this. They put some ribs in on here. They put that texture on that red all the way around. And they actually went through, it looks like put a wash or a highlight on it. There's something about it, I don't think it's coming through on the camera too well, but there's something about it that actually makes it pop out more. I guess maybe it's just the way the paint is, because on this one it's popping out way more than that top one. Looks good though, as you can see. We did a lot of sculpturing here. We got all those outdents and stuff, and then the way it sculpts down there. And that little thin red, two thin red lines there. The dark gray wrapping around. And then up here to the emitter, you have some sculpting there. These blades do come out, but I'm not going to pull mine out, because when I try to pull mine out, it's not gonna do it for me now, but it's separated, because this is a hinge right here, so you can be like the movie where she goes, whatcha, and it opens up. It's awesome. The hinge is a bit bigger than I feel like it would be in real life, just due to the way that the scaling works. You can't have a minuscule hinge or else it would just break and not work. But they do separate. There we go. So if you wanted her to dual wield these lightsabers, you could have her dual wielding them. You can just pop that sucker back together. You can have it like that. You can have her holding it like that, so she has like twin blades attacking someone. Have it out. So, very nice lightsaber, but it doesn't matter if she can't hold it. So, let's have her hold it. Oof. This is some hard plastic on these hands. As you can see, mine fell apart when I was trying to do this, but that's all right. So we'll have her like this. Let's have her do a very, oh no. There we go. Let's have her in a very basic pose. We'll slide this one in. There we go. So now she's holding that. We'll have it slide like that, and we'll have it connect. So she does hold it. And the way how tight these hands are, it is not going anywhere. She holds it pretty well. Unfortunately, because of everything, you're not gonna be able to have her be in like any cool Darth Maul-esque poses or anything. She's really just gonna stand here menacingly and hold it. But I'm still a fan. I'll probably just have her on the shelf like this, looking menacingly and holding it like I just said. Overall, I'm surprised they actually made this figure as fast as they did, and they didn't give us, say, a Poe or a Finn or a Leia or anyone else from The Rise of Skywalker, a Lando. I would really love to see an Episode 9 Lando come out. That'd be really cool. But as a huge Rey fan, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining that this figure came out so fast. I really like the way they did it. I just wish this lower skirt was soft goods, so it should be a bit more posable. But it's not a deal breaker for me. If you like Rey as much as I do, or say Eric does, obviously this figure is going to be a must get. And if you like Rise of Skywalker, I'd say it's a must have. You know, I'd recommend this figure. I don't think there are many figures I haven't recommended, but I like it. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have one. And better yet, if you do have one, why don't we do some photography with it and tag us on Instagram at Twin Sons Outpost. I'd love to see what you guys have. You know, just take a photo of all your figures that you have and show them off. We'd love to see it. We're all collectors here. So until next time, may the Force be with you.